All right, welcome back to another episode of Aussies taking over the NBA. Preseason has landed. I believe the NBA teams are playing games.
They are. It is NBA India, which is if we were
Oh,
having a
there you
bit of a
go.
laugh about pre-game. So it's going to be who gets down with the Delhi belly first, screaming shittles.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see who comes back and starts the season. Um,
10 pounds lighter.
yeah, might be a good way to lose weight. No, it's not a nice way to lose weight. But today we're going to bring you a Cavs season preview. How do you feel about that?
It's probably the most pointless franchise in the NBA as we speak. What is this team? What is the purpose? What is your purpose? I don't know where they're going. Where are they going, Ben? Where are they
So,
going?
if you thought Phoenix had a roster that just made you just go, I don't understand what you're doing with this team. Look at this Cleveland roster. It's a mess. Drafted Sexton last year. Chetty Osman,
Chetty Osman's
had
good.
a pretty good breakout year.
I like Chetty Osman. He's a good player. I think he is one to watch for the future. He definitely gets some big minutes this year. Definitely a starting five. It's just what is the purpose of this team? I
I
don't
don't know,
understand.
man. And they did draft Darius Garland.
Yeah, he was a pretty high pick.
Ended up being the fifth pick.
Yeah, fifth pick, 6'2", 175. Bit smaller than Delhi.
Hey, I just want to ask, why? You just drafted Sexton. Why are you drafting another point guard? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand this team. I don't think they've bought into Sexton at all, to be honest with you.
But
Um,
he in patches he looked really good last year. Like,
I think I think
look,
they think he's a serviceable backup, but as a like taking this team forward, I don't think they see him as that.
but it just again like it's the Phoenix and Booker situation where you've got Booker now. What are you going to fill the roster with the guys around Booker? And then you start bringing in these weird like Rubio, and then in this team it's like you've got Sexton, but if you don't want to play, you're disappearing off the screen there.
Oh,
If you don't want to play, Sexton in that I'm just going to be the scorer role. Like, what are you doing then? Like, and then you draft Garland. Did they have any other picks in this draft? Let's just go through it here. They picked Dylan Windler from Houston. Anyone else? No, it looks like that's all they drafted in this draft. If my
I,
eyes
I
do not deceive me.
no. Look, they've got about 5 point guards in this team. No small forwards, a shooting guard, and 7 centers. I don't understand the purpose of this team. Like
You're
it's
not kidding. Have a look at this, right? Zizic, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson.
You can say that
Um,
John Henson's not a power forward. I would put him as a center.
and
He's
then
never
yeah,
played four in his life.
and then Nance
Marquez
Jr. and
Bolden.
Henson.
Like, what is your purpose, sir? What
That's
is
that's not the worst. Like, look, that's not the worst array of centers. Like, say what you want about Kevin Love, but like he's a serviceable player in terms of an outside scorer, and can kind of score inside a little bit. But the rest of it is just like clear the decks, man. Just get rid of Thompson. Larry Nance Jr. I like, but we don't like him on this podcast because Andy said so. Henson, you're like, you're just going to block some shots and that's about it. And then Zizic is the other guy where you're just like, yeah, okay, have him as your main rim protector and then have Kevin Love play power forward. And, Clarkson, Clarkson and Brandon Knight are both just like, give me the ball scorers. You know what I mean?
yeah?
And then Colin Sexton's a give me the ball scorer as well. And then you draft another point guard high. Like, it's just weird, man.
It's just I don't. Are they accumulating? Are they going to trade for picks? They've. It seems like they've got Timothy Lawaru Cabarro on the roster. He's like
Oh,
a pretty trash shooting guard, playing some deep minutes. I don't know where they're thinking of taking this team? Is just this is going to be it because LeBron James is just completely gone from now. We're hoping that when he's 40, he'll come back and play his final season. I don't know. Like, what is this trying to achieve? Is Della going to get any minutes? That's the big question.
Well, there's so many point guards that you would think that he's not going to get minutes. Like you would think that he's kind of just on his way out. Like this roster's so jam packed with guards.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like you trade for him. He's got 1 year left at $9 million. Serviceable kind of point guard as well, playing in the NBA. Bit bigger than Darius Garland. He's a Cleveland, family. They love him out there. I'm sure they want to see him play. Would you play Jordan Clarkson at like a 2 or a 3 and have him as like a second ball handler, or just that ISO bucket scorer? I don't know. It's a team of just why.
Yeah, why do you exist? Like just forfeit the season and then get a high draft pick next season. You know what I mean?
But it's not even that. That's not even how it works anymore. It's the lottery's changed.
I know.
Yeah, Kevin Porter Jr., Chetty Osman. I don't even know.
Yeah, so looking at last year, right? They're a team. So did they end up making that crazy trade? They did end up getting like Brandon Knight in some sort of crazy trade where they sent somebody. Korver, maybe?
They sent Korver to the Jazz, and they sent what do you call it, to the Jazz as well. Who did they send to the Jazz? They sent
Crowder? No, that was a while. That was before.
That was before. No, they sent.
Looking at their roster from last year, Burks.
Yeah, they sent Trey. Yeah, Burks.
Trey Burks.
Alec Burks.
Alec Burks. So Alec Burks, Decker, Marquise Chris was on their roster last year. Channing Frye. Wow. George Hill. That's right. Your best mate. How could you forget? And who could forget Rodney Hood?
That's it. Who they send Hood to the Blazers. So they must have some picks next season. They must be stacking late picks.
They had Stauskas for a little bit as well.
Yeah, but he's playing in Europe now, I think.
Yeah, I think he left. And then, the J.R. Smith vortex where he just disappeared off the face of the planet.
No one's picked him up. It's kind of like Carmelo. It's just like, yeah, no thank you.
No. So, again, you look at this roster and there's, maybe 3 or 4 guys even where you're just like, right, this the Doncic Dallas thing, right? Clear the decks, get everyone out, and then we're just going on this guy in the next 3 or 4 years of his development. We'll put guys around him. Take your pick out of Sexton, Chetty Osman. You're not going to do whatever Kevin Love, but you might squeeze 2 or 3 years out of Kevin Love at the moment, or Clarkson basically, and they're all like, give me the ball type players.
Why do you have Kevin Love? Why not just trade him for picks?
Yeah, or something.
Trade him, get 28 million off your books, and trade him for picks, and you're not going to win anything. There is no point to having a $29 million former All-Star on your team if you're not going for something. Like we can predict how many. I don't see them getting more than 15 wins this year.
15 wins.
Oh, maybe I'm going to say 18 wins.
That's crazy. Considering last year they were predicted to... Oh, wait, hang on. Last year they were predicted to 30.5 wins and they ended up with 19.
I think this is a worse team this year.
I think it's worse, definitely. But again, we predicted the LeBron vortex would just suck, the suck zone would just suck the juice out of that franchise. And I think it was reflected in the picks we had. I think we had 34, so we went for the over and we were way under. That was way under. But again, like, we're looking at Philly, we're looking at some of these other teams. Brooklyn
I think the Knicks have improved immensely. I think the Knicks are a better team. I think Detroit's a better team. I think Chicago's a better team.
Is Atlanta a better team?
Yeah, way better. But Cleveland is clearly coming 15th in that conference and clearly not winning any more than 15 games. I'm going to stick with 15.
15, you're locking in your pick over under
15.
pick nice and early. picks 2019. What do we got? Cavs. They're predicted to win 24 and a half games. Any 15 games. That's crazy. What am I going to pick? What did I pick? 25. I went over.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I think the East has gotten stronger. I think that the young blood in the East is definitely better. Let me just get my NBA app up here.
Yeah. That's a shame we have to watch this, man. Can Delhi just get like a transfer back to the NBL this season? That'd be good, man. I'd love to see him join like maybe the Taipans or something like that.
I think even the Hornets are probably the other team that you're just like, oof.
Oh, yeah. The Hornets are going to be terrible, terrible.
Yeah, I don't see the Hornets getting past 22 wins.
Like the big thing, like I was thinking about it, the big thing about last season was everyone was tanking for Zion Williamson. Like, I don't know if there's going to be anyone in this draft this season that's going to be worth tanking for. And I feel like last year there were probably 2 or 3 teams that were just legitimately bad. And then a few teams that were just like, throw everything in, we're tanking. But whereas I feel like this season there's 4 or 5 teams that are going to just be legitimately terrible teams where you can't see where the wins are coming from. And like I was saying just before, like Philly had to go through some serious pain just to kind of regenerate their roster. Brooklyn kind of went through a little bit of pain as well. You're seeing Dallas go through pain to try and regenerate their roster. The Timberwolves have struggled a little bit to regenerate it. Hawks are going through pain as well. Like, all of these teams are on the downhill slope to the bottom now. Like, even New York, it looks like they've hit rock bottom. They're coming back up a little bit. The Grizzlies are at the bottom. They're going to come back up a bit. Washington as well is on the downhill slope all the way down into the crevasse and to come back up.
Does Bradley Beal add that? You know, I don't think they're going to get past 30 wins this year. Washington, probably late 20s. I mean, I think the Hawks are probably on the up and up. I think that it's going to be really Wizards, Hornets, and Cavs bottom 3. I think the Knicks will win 28 to 35 games, somewhere in that vicinity, and then you're going to have this real logjam in the middle, like Magic, Detroit. And actually, you know what? Detroit could surprise us and bust out with a healthy Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose, Thon.
Thon's looking svelte too.
He is, you know, working his games in the off season. But the Cavs are, you know, I want to see Delhi play minutes, but you know, it's a point guard heavy. It's a point guard heavy draft. It's going to be a point guard heavy league. And Delhi cannot play 2. He can really only play 1.
So he ended up playing 19 minutes or 20 minutes basically off the bench last season. And then they've 7.3 points per game, and then they've drafted more point guards.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it is going to be a little bit tricky, which is a shame. We very well might see him back in the NBL next year, which would be great. Hey, definitely
for sure, man. Guys, I think some of the teams are gonna be like, they're going to have room for a point guard. Like Adelaide almost had room for a point guard this year. They went in with Jerome Randall. But he's a Melbourne boy, isn't he, Tilly?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's from Melbourne. Tasmania, maybe? Nah, Maryborough, Victoria. So Phoenix, maybe? Maybe we'll join Melbourne United.
Isn't he part of the ownership group of the Phoenix?
I don't know. Could be. But yeah, man, I don't want to talk about the Cavs anymore. This is just horrible. This is depressing me.
It is.
Making me want to go to sleep.
It is. Let's wrap this up.
We'll wrap this one up here. You did lock in your pick. Did I just chuck that in there just real quick? I'll check. 15 wins. Wow. No, it's four down from last year. So, all right. We're going to come back with Detroit.
We're going to come back with Detroit, and who else are we going to do next?
Brooklyn with Dan Adele, or Orlando with Isaac.
Because they're G League, let's combine the G Leaguers.
Right.
And we'll come back with the G Leaguers and Detroit sometime in the next few days.
Yep.
Building up to Philly, the Jazz,
Yeah. There are blue chip teams this season.
Blue chips, in terms of Aussies.
Teams we're going to actually want to watch this season.
Indeed.
And then Rowdy Ryan Broekhoff, I really want to see how he progresses this season in his second season
Definitely.
for Dallas.
Dallas could be a dark horse. You just don't know what Kristaps is actually going to do coming off that such a long injury. And Doncic here too. He's definitely something to watch.
Yeah, I feel like they just went, okay, we're on the right track. Okay, do it just complete 180 and go that way. And I was just like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you drafting? Why are you getting point guards again? What? Stop it, Mark Cuban, you crazy man. All right, we'll leave it there.
Peace out, everyone.
See you guys on the next episode. Take it easy.
See ya.